Welcome back to the Stoic Compass. I'm Eleanor Vance, and today we're discussing something that would make Marcus Aurelius very uncomfortable: romantic love.
Wait, the Stoics didn't believe in love?
They believed in affection, duty, partnership, but romantic passion? That's a temporary madness that clouds rational judgment.
Sounds romantic.
Jim Walker, everyone, married for 8 years and still thinks romance should involve candlelight and violin music. I'm joined by Jim, and today we're exploring what scientists say about love. Spoiler alert, it's basically mental illness.
Well, I'll be darned. You really know how to sell a topic.
Quick reminder, if you enjoy having your romantic illusions systematically destroyed by neuroscience, hit that subscribe button. So, Jim, I want to start with a story. There's a woman named Lauren Slater who got married at 8 in the morning. Winter, freezing, blackbirds on telephone wires. Very romantic setup.
8 in the morning? Who gets married at 8 in the morning?
Hip, cynical people in their 30s who think they're too cool for traditional weddings. Anyway, after the wedding, she asks her new husband, "What can we do that's really romantic?"
And?
He suggests a bath. She doesn't want a bath. He suggests chilled wine and salmon. She's sick of salmon.
She sounds delightful.
So she goes for a walk, ends up at a tattoo parlor, and gets henna tattoos all over her torso. Vines, flowers, a decorative chastity belt around her hips. This is her wedding gift to her husband.
That's actually kind of romantic, in a weird way.
Here's the point. 8 years later, she's sitting there, pale as a pillowcase, with extra pounds and baggage. The tattoos are long gone, and she's wondering, does passion necessarily fade? Is romantic love even reliable?
Okay, now you're getting depressing.
Indeed, but let us consider, she still loves her husband. There's no one she desires more. But sustaining romance in what she calls the crumb-filled quotidian is hard. The ties that bind have been frayed by mortgages and children.
Crumb-filled quotidian. That's my life right there.
Her marriage is like comfortable clothing. Even the arguments have a feel of fuzziness. But here's her question. Is that enough? And that's where the science comes in.
What does science have to do with love?
Everything. For the first time, researchers are illuminating where love lives in the brain, the particulars of its chemical components. Enter Helen Fisher, anthropologist, doyen of desire.
Doyen of desire? Did you make that up?
That's what they call her. She's 60 years old, exudes sexy confidence, lives in New York near Central Park. She's devoted her career to studying the biochemical pathways of love in all its manifestations.
How do you study love in a lab?
MRI machines. Fisher recruited subjects who'd been madly in love for an average of 7 months, put them in the machine, showed them 2 photos, one neutral, one of their loved one.
And what happened?
When they looked at their loved one, specific parts of their brain lit up like a Christmas tree. The ventral tegmental area and the caudate nucleus, parts linked to reward and pleasure.
So love has an address in the brain?
Love has a chemical pathway. The caudate nucleus is dense with receptors for dopamine. Fisher calls it our endogenous love potion. In the right proportions, dopamine creates intense energy, exhilaration, focused attention.
That's why you can stay up all night when you're newly in love?
Exactly. Love makes you bold, makes you bright, makes you run real risks. It's basically cocaine for your brain.
Wait, love is like cocaine?
Chemically speaking, yes. But there's more. A psychiatrist in Italy named Donatella Marazziti studied people who'd fallen in love within the past 6 months and obsessed about their love object for at least 4 hours every day.
4 hours a day? That's obsessive.
That's the point. She measured their serotonin levels and compared them to people with obsessive-compulsive disorder and normal people. Guess what she found?
The lovers were crazy?
Serotonin levels in both the lovers and the OCD patients were 40% lower than normal. Translation, love and obsessive-compulsive disorder have a similar chemical profile. Translation, love and mental illness may be difficult to tell apart.
So when I fell in love with my wife, I was basically mentally ill?
Scientifically speaking, yes. You were in a chemically altered state akin to mental illness.
Well, I'll be darned. That explains a lot, actually.
Here's where it gets interesting. Helen Fisher believes that antidepressants like Prozac can jeopardize your ability to fall in love and stay in love. By dulling the keen edge of love, relationships go stale.
So Prozac kills love?
Fisher knows of one couple on the edge of divorce. The wife was on antidepressants. She went off them, started having orgasms again, felt sexual attraction return, and now they're in love all over again.
Okay, that's too much information.
It's science, Jim. Get comfortable. Now, why do we fall in love with who we fall in love with? Freud would say unresolved Oedipal complex. Jung would say collective unconscious.
What do modern scientists say?
Some say it's rooted in infantile experiences, how you felt at your mother's breast. The comfort gets engraved in your brain and you try to recapture it as an adult. We love who we love because of the past we hope to reclaim.
So I married someone who reminds me of my mother? That's creepy.
Evolutionary psychologists say it's even simpler. We choose mates who look healthy. Women with a 70% waist-to-hip ratio, men with rugged features suggesting strong testosterone and immune systems.
So love is just math and immune systems?
There's also the sweaty t-shirt study. A scientist named Klaus Wedekind had 49 women smell t-shirts worn by men with various genotypes. Women preferred the scent of men whose genotype was most different from theirs.
We're choosing mates based on smelly t-shirts?
We're choosing mates whose immune systems complement ours, creating robust offspring. But no one says, I married him because of his body odor. We say, he's intelligent, she's beautiful, he's witty. But we may be deluded.
This is destroying all my romantic notions.
Good. Now let's talk about why passionate love doesn't last. Studies around the world confirm that passion usually ends. It's as common as its initial flare.
Why doesn't it last?
Fisher suggests relationships frequently break up after 4 years because that's how long it takes to raise a child through infancy. Passion is practical. We need it to start breeding, then attachment takes over.
So love is just evolution's trick to make us reproduce?
Basically, your brain adapts to dopamine like a cocaine user develops tolerance. You need more and more to produce the high. Eventually, the neurons become desensitized.
So romance fizzles because our brains get bored?
Indeed, but let us consider, maybe it's good that romance fizzles. Would we have railroads, bridges, vaccines, television if we were all always besotted? We'd have only bonbons, bouquets, and birth control.
That's actually a fair point.
More seriously, if romantic love is akin to mental illness, exposing yourself too long could result in psychological damage. But here's the good news. There's a second chemical that takes over.
What chemical?
Oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It's released when you hug your long-term spouse or your children, when a mother nurses her infant. Prairie voles with high oxytocin mate for life.
So we go from dopamine to oxytocin?
From the dopamine-drenched state of romantic love to the relative quiet of oxytocin-induced attachment. In long-term relationships that work, oxytocin is abundant. In relationships that crumble, couples haven't found a way to sustain it.
How do you sustain it?
Massage. Make love. These trigger oxytocin. Fisher says if you have enough orgasms with your partner, you may become attached to them. You stimulate oxytocin production.
So the advice is fake it till you make it?
Essentially. Keep having sex with your boring partner, and eventually you'll feel attached. It's like your mother saying, keep eating your peas, they're an acquired taste.
That's the least romantic advice I've ever heard.
But wait, there's more. A psychologist named Arthur Aaron did an experiment. He put opposite sex pairs in rooms, had them tell each other personal details, then stare into each other's eyes for 2 minutes.
And?
Most couples reported feelings of attraction. One couple went on to marry. Fisher says doing novel things together triggers dopamine, which stimulates attraction. Even jogging in place before meeting someone makes you think they're attractive.
So first dates should involve roller coasters?
Nerve-wracking activities increase attraction. Your heart flutters. You attribute it to the person instead of the situation. It's a neurological trick.
Well, I'll be darned. Love is just brain chemistry and optical illusions.
Now you're getting it. But here's the Stoic perspective. Knowing this doesn't make love less valuable. Marcus Aurelius understood that emotions are temporary. What matters is commitment, partnership, shared values.
So the Stoics were right?
The Stoics understood something modern culture forgets. Romantic passion is temporary. Building a life together requires more than dopamine. It requires virtue, effort, conscious choice.
That's actually beautiful, in a clinical sort of way.
One more story. Lauren Slater and her husband went to kissing school. Yes, that's a real thing, to relearn how to kiss. 7 hours of instruction. They had to leave early because their baby got a fever.
That's hilariously tragic.
Later, she tried the eye-staring experiment with her husband over the phone. She stared at his photo for 2 minutes while he held the phone. It didn't create intimacy at first, but then she noticed something.
What?
In the photo, her husband wasn't looking at the camera. He was looking to the side at a tiny turtle. She remembered how he caught it gently, showed their kids, stroked its shell, held it out to her as a love offering. Together, they sent it back to the sea.
Okay, that's actually really sweet.
That's the point. Love isn't just chemistry. It's shared moments, small kindnesses, choosing each other despite the fading dopamine. The Stoics would say, passion fades, but partnership endures if you choose it.
So, what's the takeaway here? Love is mental illness, but also beautiful?
Love is temporary insanity that, with luck and effort, transforms into something more sustainable. Don't trust the dopamine. Trust the oxytocin. Trust the choice to stay.
Well, I'll be darned. That's the most pragmatic love advice I've ever heard.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of love, brain chemistry, and why your spouse eventually bores you.
If you enjoyed having your romantic illusions destroyed by neuroscience, please subscribe.
Until next time, remember that passion is temporary, but conscious commitment is a choice you make every day.
And maybe stare into your partner's eyes for 2 minutes. Or jog in place. Science says it works.
This podcast is powered by VoxCrea.ai, where ideas find their voice.